Hello and a very warm welcome to today's 10-minute teaser. Delighted that we've got our first two school colleagues today. So we've got Laura Pearce and Danielle Smith, both from Hazelbury School in Enfield. Welcome both.
Hi.
Lovely to have you both here. So could we start by you telling us what your input to the professional learning programme in Enfield is going to be for?
Yes, so we're going to provide two sessions regarding a whole school approach to emotional health and wellbeing. So session one is what I'll be leading, and that really focuses around staff wellbeing. So it's all about encouraging leaders to reflect on their school's culture and what impact improving wellbeing could have across the school in ways that perhaps they haven't really thought about before. Also how to implement different strategies and approaches to create a culture where everybody feels valued and is able to really contribute to the school's success. Also, in light of the Education Staff Wellbeing Charter that's being published by the DfE, we'll be looking at that, and that is about the school showing a commitment to wellbeing. So that will be discussed, and you'll be encouraged to think about how you might approach that with regards to workload and training and development, amongst other areas. And just generally giving ideas about practical strategies and ideas that you can implement as a school, and then evidence those in relation to the Ofsted framework and what they're expecting to see. And then session two is going to be led by Danielle.
Yeah, so I'm going to be leading the second session, and that's really going to focus on pupil wellbeing. So we'll look at mental health in general, and look at some statistics and some risk factors for some possible mental health conditions, and then look at the important role that schools play in supporting wellbeing in relation to legislation and policy, as well as Ofsted, and then looking at some strategies that can help to embed wellbeing across the curriculum. So not just having it as part of awareness days or weeks, but really embedding it and making that as a whole school approach. So things such as active listening and building positive relationships, as well as in-class strategies as well, such as check-ins and assessment opportunities.
Wow, that's a great overview, and that's all in two sessions.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've said you're both from Hazelbury Primary, which is in Enfield. Could you tell us a little bit about your school and your roles?
Yeah, so I'm the head teacher at Hazelbury. So I've been here for a few years now. When I started, I was, I believe, the youngest head teacher in the country at the time. That's changed now, I've got a bit older. And we are an enormous school. So we're a 5-form entry. We have over 1,100 pupils. And we really put wellbeing at the centre of our school. So we're sort of known for that. Our staff and children talk very freely about that. And as a result, I've done training for the Key on wellbeing, as well as across our own trust, the Enfield Learning Trust, to the schools, and also have written for the National College regarding wellbeing and how that can really impact your teacher retention, which is something that has happened at Hazelbury. So that's been a really positive impact. So we're known for putting wellbeing at the forefront of everything that we do, and we have Danielle who is in a really pivotal role to that. So I'll let her tell you a bit about her role.
Yeah, so I am the assistant head teacher for mental health and wellbeing at Hazelbury, and I'm also the PSHE lead. And obviously, mental health is now such a fundamental aspect in the PSHE curriculum, so we've really been able to embed that within the school. Outside of school, I have been studying for my masters in mental health and wellbeing. And I've also got a qualification in children's yoga and mindfulness, and I feel really grateful that I've had the opportunity to be able to implement some of those strategies and the knowledge that I've developed on those courses into the school, which I think has really helped to really embed wellbeing within our children. So I'm hoping that's something I'll be able to share and impart some of my knowledge on the training.
Excellent, thanks very much. You've definitely already touched upon this, but perhaps you could elaborate a little bit more, thinking about your input to our professional learning and the successes that you've had, either at a kind of trust level or school, or with particular teachers, or even the young people.
So I guess thinking about, because really wellbeing is fantastic and it should be valued, but also I think sometimes people miss the benefits and what is the impact of doing all of these things to look after everybody. And we can we can really show that we've had massive impact here at Hazelbury, and that's why we promote it and have wellbeing at the forefront. So we've achieved the Sandwell Charter Mark for wellbeing, which was a year-long project and really focused on the well-being of our entire community and all of its stakeholders. And we pretty much, well, we did get the highest level in every area for that. We also had an Ofsted inspection when they were running regularly in 2019, and it was actually quoted in our Ofsted report about how well-being was central to our school and how that really came through, particularly in staff surveys that they were taken. So it really shows that the ethos and practices are embedded, and I touched on it before, but things like low staff turnover, we have one, if any, teacher leave a year out of 40 teachers. So it's a really positive story, which is why we feel really confident to be able to share our practice, because we have had that sort of result, really. Danielle, you were going to talk a bit about the children's side to that.
Yeah, so we have obviously the new statutory framework for relationships and health education came out, and we've looked at this and we have developed as an academy group a new PSHE curriculum from scratch, and that really has a mental health focus throughout. So even if we're looking at relationships education, we're really promoting mental wellbeing throughout everything we do in our PSHE curriculum, and part of that is we've embedded a wellbeing timetable. So that is really part of our school day, our school routine, and it ensures that wellbeing is part of the day-to-day life with the school, and it's something that children can just talk about really confidently. So I'm really proud that we've developed that within the school.
Oh, that's great. Thank you both. I think this is what's so exciting about professional learning, is bringing the expertise that's been developed over time within a school and being able to share that with as many schools as we can getting on the programme. So we really look forward to having people, experience your amazing work. So thank you. Is there any preparation that you'd like participants to do before they come to the programme?
So we did discuss this, and what we would really like is for people to come with an open mind. So sometimes when we talk about well-being, it can be, people think it's a bit fluffy, and so we really want people to come with an open mind that actually, if you really have this as a central driver, that it has such a great positive impact in every area within what you would consider the Ofsted framework, that you're being measured against within your school. And really that feeling good is only the start of the journey. It's about what you can see that comes from that, really. So it's just coming with that open mind to think about your school and how you can implement the things that perhaps you might pick up on the training.
Great, thank you very much. As you'll know, we've asked all our providers to share a quote that means something to them. So would you be able to share the quote that you have on your page of our professional learning portal?
So because we have achieved the Sandwell Charter Mark, we've sort of lifted something from them, really, because it sums everything up. So a whole school approach to emotional health and well-being is key to success. And I genuinely believe that, and everybody here believes that, and that's why we're so passionate about it.
Fantastic, thank you. So this 2-session programme, which is going to be jam-packed, is in October. So it's the 7th and 14th of October. And we really look forward to welcoming people on it. So that just leaves me to say thank you both, Laura and Danielle, very much for your time and explaining and giving a fantastic overview of the programme. Thank you. And finally, could you just let us know if you have any social media contact information you want to share?
Yep, so we're on Twitter and on Instagram. So on Twitter, we're at Hazelbury SCH, and then on Instagram, if you put in Hazelbury Primary School, we'll come up. And really, if you want to look there before the course, you get a sense of well-being in practice. So we're forever tweeting, and you'll be able to see that in practice and some of the ideas we talk about, as well as we often link the different organisations that are linked to well-being and how you can see how we incorporate this and it works within the school setting. So that will give some ideas as well, hopefully.
That's great. Well, thank you both very much indeed for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.